folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. So today what we got going on is we're going to work on the tiny swarm. Tiny swarm we moved from over here behind the old barn in the woods back over here to the main apiary. So I combined it with the little swarm that we just had a couple weeks ago. It's only a couple frames of bees, so I moved the Tiny Swarm 2019, put them on top of that, so it's a double-decker nuke now. So it's got 5 frames bottom, 5 on top, and newspaper in between. So they should have chewed through the newspaper by now. And I put a quart of feed on there, and they've only taken about that much, so I'm a little concerned. The hive number 1 and 5 combined, it had a quart of feed on it the same day, and it's all gone. In fact, it was gone like within the first day or so. So let's get in there, see if they're through the newspaper, make sure they're doing okay, make sure wax moths haven't gotten in there, because it's pretty weak hive on the bottom. The top where the tiny swarm is, it's a lot better up there. So let's see if they moved in and acclimated and see how it's doing. So let's get started. Okay, just taking a quick look at the other hives here. Here's 16, 17. So I put some feed on 17 there, and it was gone within a day. So this deep here is a mostly empty frames. There's some honey up there and pollen, but we added this on to this hive that was a single deep, and I'm going to go ahead and give them some more feed today. And this is the hive number 1 and 5 combined. So that box on the top was right over here where we've got the tiny swarm now. So their quart jar is empty. So here's the tiny swarm 2019 and the other tiny swarm that was even tinier below. So you can see they haven't gone through much of their feed. But it looks good out front, so I reduced it down pretty small so they could defend it. From the looks of it, I would say they've gone through the paper, and these are bees from the tiny swarm that's on the top, this box up here. So let's check out the newspaper and see if it's all chewed up. Okay, we're gonna go commando on this inspection with no smoke. See if we can get her done. Not many bees in here, so I don't think we'll have any problem. Oh wow, we have bunches of hive beetles. We've got to do something about this. This is like being overrun. Man, I don't know if you can see how many I've smashed already. There's probably 20 on the lid here. And just as many took off down below. The good news is the bee population up here looks good. So yeah, see, we got good population of bees up here. Get any beetles that are underneath that trap. There was one. There's a wax moth larva. Yeah, I'm really concerned now about this being overrun with pests. We may wind up reducing this down to a single nuke. So we got nectar up here. So they brought nectar in here, or it's come from the sugar feeder there, sugar water. That siren's going to sound nice and cool in the video, especially when I speed it up. Okay, here's our queen. Right there, she's a good looking queen. I'd say she's grown a little. So we've got brood up in here. And this is eggs. This is eggs in this area. So this hive was doing good for a small nuke. And there's quite a bit of honey on that frame. So we got us a nice brood pattern here, with a little bit of nectar filled in the empty cells. Same thing here, but we got, instead of backfill, there's larvae inside of there. I don't know if those are going to be visible. Right in there's a bunch of larvae. You see the white in the cells. So I'm looking down in at the newspaper. So you can see the newspaper is completely chewed up, gone. A lot of it's gone. So we'll lift that top off there and clean this up. So this is empty and empty. And this, I believe, is a honey frame. Yeah. So there's some honey on there and a little bit of nectar they put in. And there's honey back here. So let's get the newspaper cleaned up and look at the bottom. Nothing's ever easy. Okay, set this over here on the lid. So yeah, I took 2 frames out of this because I was really concerned about the low population and a bunch of empty frames in there and all the hive beetles I was seeing. So I just made a judgment call the day I moved it to go ahead and pull those out, because this bottom side was not looking good at all. So this is a honey frame I put in for them. This came from another hive. So they've got 2 honey frames, one down here and one in the top. This one's got more in it. And this is an empty frame. So that's a candidate that could come out. There's a little bit of nectar in it, but not much. This has got a lot of pollen, so I think I would want to keep this one. Both sides are full of pollen. So, so I could get rid of this one and 3 from up there, but I don't. Let's see if we've got 5 frames we can get rid of, or not 5, 3. So we know. So I'm going to reduce this. That's why I'm saying that. So I want to keep this one. This one was a candidate to get rid of. There's just a little bit of nectar in there, not hardly any. So let's get rid of this one. Get this back so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go through the top part now, and I need 2 more frames to remove. So this one just has a little bit of nectar right here, so that's a candidate for removal. This next one had the queen on it, so I know we don't want to mess with that one, or the one next to it had brood. So that means these 2 frames need to go, or one of those. So let's see what these 2 look like. I think this one was empty. Yeah. So this one's got nice drawn comb and stuff, but there's nothing in it, so we're going to take it out. We'll shake these bees down here where it's more convenient. So there's 2. Actually, I think I'm going to do this one because that other one's honey. So that'll be 3. So I want to use this for the box because it's a little bit better box than that one. It's got handles on it. So I'm going to put these 2 frames together. Let's see. This is a honey frame. I want it on the outside. So I'll put it on this outside over here. So this box is this hive is going to have to overwinter unless they really grow this month of September, or it's October. Unless they really grow this month of October, which they're likely not. So the fall flow is probably tapering off right now. So I'm going to put this pollen one right next to where we saw the queen and the brood. So there's our populated box. I'm going to set it down over there, and I got to get all those bees remaining in that box up into here. So here's what we got going on. So we got these bees working over here on this box, no frames in it, and there's a lot of bees in there. We don't want to lose those. We need to get them up in here. So I'm going to set this box here down, lift that one up, set it on top. And I may need to go light my smoker and maybe smoke them down, or we'll see how that goes. So let's trade places with these 2 boxes. Uh-oh. I bet you saw that coming, didn't you? So I'm going to take the opportunity to smash a bunch of these hive beetles that are down here. Man, they are everywhere. Golly. It's the smash-o-rama. I'd go get the camera and zoom it in so you could see, but by the time I do that, they'll all be halfway gone and hidden. And I want to get them squished. See all the bees right here looking for the entrance. The entrance ain't where it should be. I think I've got some Swiffer pads over in the old barn. I might get some of those out. Okay, I think we about got it. Let's see if there's any under here. Yep. Oop, caught that one mid-flight. So I'm going to hold this upside down, get the junk off, and then I'll shake these bees right there. Now I'll try and scrape this off a little bit. Keep this bottom board clean. Okay. There we go. So you ought to see them start going in the entrance there now a little better. Got a bunch on the lid here. Don't want to lose them. Still got beetles up here. I'll shake these down in there. Get these beetle traps put back on. Trying not to squish any bees. I never did get my spacer made for this. That'll be a winter project. I'm planning on building some nukes for swarm season next year, because if we have swarms this year or next year like I did this year, it's going to be too many bees. Let's see, we can use that other cover now. We can go with this. That'll work better. It's a little narrower than the box, but it covers it. Give the bees a little more room on the top. There we go. So yeah, now I don't need the spacer. Okay, I'm going to give this full jar to that 1.5 combine over there. And so this is what's left of my gallon from before. So I'm just going to give them a little bit. Because they're not taking it very fast. Don't want to put excess on there. There's a hive beetle in there. They're everywhere. All right, let's get this on here. And reduce my entrance down where it was. Prevent the robbing. This is kind of hard to do with all these bees up here. Just keep bumping them till they get out. There we go. So we got the entrance reduced down. Got them into a single nuke box. There's no way, there was just too much open comb in there for that population. So that population there is, you know, it's still not big enough for that the 5 frames that are in there now. But they may have a chance now. Guess what I forgot? This box right here. So when you get in a hurry and you're making a video and you're trying to think about what you're saying, sometimes you forget what you're doing. So I needed to get this box here. I should have shook it in up there, or just, I was going to set it on top, let them work their way down, and I forgot all about it. So I'm just going to leave it sitting right there for now, and those bees will work their way up to the top and work their way in the hive. It'll work, it just take longer, and that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, okay, so we got it combined down into a single nuke. They got a better chance of survival now, although it's a slim chance. So they'll do fine all through December. It's when you get into January, when you get those really cold days. The question is, will they have the population to stay warm and have a mass to keep them warm? I'll keep feeding them, and I may put a sugar feeder on here so they'll have at least something to get them nutrition wise through those cold snaps. So we'll just see how it goes. We got us a nice queen in here, so that's going to be the end of the video. So give me a thumbs up if you would, and before you leave, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care.